he needs to do more of something else. He needs to practice on clear communication, for example, focus on own ambitions and goals and development and so on. And then the athletes do this in groups, and then it becomes interesting because then we need to discuss, how are you being perceived? How am I being perceived? Is it possible that I can be perceived in this way? Can I actually overuse quality? And when is that happening? And what does that affect athletes in the team? And when we have got to know own strengths and each other's strengths, then we start to talk about how can we complement each other? How can we work together with the strengths that we have in our team to perform at the best? And here's just an example for athletes with different kind of strengths. And then we start to discuss, okay, in what situations are you extra important? How should you take responsibility in different kind of situations? For example, this athlete is a part of Elverum, and he knows that when it's 1 minute left in the match, he has a clear, he knows what he's going to do, because he is the one who's calm, that sees the solution and love to take leadership. This athlete, he is really important working with the cohesion and the atmosphere in the team, and he knows it. And he's making use of it in particular situations. For example, in the start of the season, he's extra visible in the team. This player, he's really important when other athletes are struggling. Because when other athletes are struggling, they start to think negatively, and it affects the team. His job then is to go to them and say, next. You focus on the next. Come on, I believe in you. So they have clear roles and clear responsibilities. So what we ask these kind of questions: what strengths do we need to achieve our goals? What strengths do we have in our team? Is there any strengths that this team are overusing? Are there strengths that we are missing, that we need in this team? And who in this team can take responsibility to bring the strengths? And then we build a team map with initials on each athlete that they need to bring into the team. So it's all about knowing ourselves and our strengths and knowing each other, and then we make use of each other's, and we then also give each other feedback when we see the strengths used in a balanced way. When I see that you came and helped me when I were down, you were positive and you helped me thinking the right thoughts, I give you feedback afterwards, and assuring you that you are important for the team. So each player has knowledge about what strengths they need to bring into the team, when it's especially important to do so, and how to make use of their strengths in a positive and helpful way for the team to take out its potential. That was what I wanted to say.
Thank you very much. Máme priestor na jednu otázku. Ostatné cez prestávku, respektíve po ukončení. Takže bola vyčerpaná téma, alebo...
No, Falář, já bych se zeptal jenom, do jaké míry pro získávání silných stránek daných sportovců je využívána psychodiagnostika.
How much do you use the psychodiagnostics for looking for the strengths?
How much I do work with it?
Yeah.
For me, it's important that the athletes also find in each other. But when I do this structured way of doing it, I use 2 hours together with the athletes, and we talk about it and we find it together. But I also use time on spotting the strengths in behavior. So it's a process, and it's important that the athlete confirms the values and the strengths, because I am not the one who is in the answer of the strengths.
So you are not actually using so much psychodiagnostical tests for that?
No, that's what I said. that we are not using tests because we believe in that it's really important to finding the right words, because values are so strong connected to emotions. So we are not using tests.
Tak ešte priestor, ešte na jedno. Maybe I can ask a question. So, how do you involve coach in this process?
Yeah, so coach is a part of the team as anyone else. Of course, he is always in the front, so he knows the theory about it. He are strength spotted before the team, but he participates in all team processes as the same way as the team members.
Ešte nejaká otázka? Mikrofón.
Please, would you explain, Karina, what time of cooperation do you use this technique or this strength spotting? Is it right at the beginning of cooperation or maybe later on?
The strength spotting we do in the beginning, but these strength maps, for example, now in December, we're going to play a cup final. And then we're going to take individual strength maps, and then we start to discuss again, okay, what is important in this context? What is especially important in this situation that we need to be aware of? Do we need anyone who can keep the team together, handling pressure? So then we start over again. So this is like continuously working on, but spotting strengths we do in the beginning. Yeah, you do it over again, because the context and the situation, the task are changing, so I cannot use the same strengths. So we need to work on it.
Môže byť ešte? Čakáme ešte na...
Have you ever seen somebody changing values?
No, you stick with them.
Never anyone changed values?
We have resting values, and we also can... we have values that we are not making use of, and that we are trying to keep down because we have learned that this is not a good value or this is not important in life. And then you have values that you adopt from others. But we see that it's learned and it's a part of your personality, but you don't totally change during life. But you can, yeah.
Maybe the idea is if you have some big accident in your life, something big happens, sometimes you shift a lot.
Maybe the values become more visible for you. For example, because you have values, you have approximately maybe 30 values when we do strength spotting, and some of them are important in some part of life, and other parts of life, other are more important.
So, thank you very much. I believe another guest will be coming.
Tak já děkuji.